All right, welcome back to Mind and Magic. I'm going to give you a warning up front. This is going to be a bit of a rant because I'm just so sick and tired of this victimhood religion that has literally been poisoning the minds of so many people these past many years. Let's get into it.
Hey, wait a minute, Rick. I thought this was a commercial. What's going on?
Relax, Morty. Don't worry about it. Let's just see where this goes.
Hocus pocus. Hocus pocus, hocus, hocus pocus. All right, before we jump in, I just want to say up front that this is not a political rant. This isn't about left or right. I want you to see beyond that limited duality viewpoint, because this is about you and the way that you think and how it influences your entire life. See, when it comes to politics, tyranny can come from either the left or the right, and you should oppose it no matter which side it's coming from. And that is why this is not a political rant, even though it may appear to be on the surface. What I'm mainly talking about is the identity politics of victimhood. They want you to identify as a victim. That's the entire point of it. Now, we've touched on this subject before. I did an entire video on simplifying things down to the glass half full or half empty, and how you perceive things like that will influence your end results, whether you're an optimist or a pessimist. Such a small shift in perception can make a tremendous difference. There's a scene from the show The Walking Dead where the character Noah tells Sasha, "I don't know if I can make it," and she just tells him, "Then you won't."
I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Then you won't.
And what that scene is demonstrating is that when the stakes are as high as they are in the show, the difference between optimism and pessimism is life and death. There is a drastic difference in those outcomes. That's why it's so important. So you need to understand that everything that the mainstream legacy media is peddling on you is mind poison, designed to keep you pessimistic so that you don't succeed and you continue to have negative outcomes throughout your life. And they do this by citing racism and sexism and classism as the cause of all of your problems. You know, it's not you, it's the rich people that have done this to you. They don't care which type of victim you are. They just want you to be a victim, because being a victim isn't what you are. It's the excuse that they've given you to use. And now you don't have to succeed because you have your excuse. I can't succeed because the rich are keeping me down. I can't succeed because the white man's keeping me down. I can't succeed because the straight people are discriminating against me. No matter what it is, getting you to identify as a victim is designed to prevent you from succeeding. It's literal mind poison. And as we've gone over 100 times, everything begins in the mind. And if everything begins in the mind, then what's a mind poisoned by victimhood going to yield? And I'm not so naive as to believe that everything is fair either, that somehow discrimination and tribalism doesn't exist. Of course it does, but you cannot see yourself as a victim if you want to make something of yourself in your life. Why do they want to do this? What's in it for them? Well, control over you. Because if you see yourself as a victim, you're now dependent on them, the benevolent ones, who will provide for you, while simultaneously taking away your ability to refuse them. Everybody understands the concept of FU money, right? That is, having enough money that you don't have to do what others try to force you to do or buy you off. You can tell them to go F themselves. You don't have to take it. So how are you going to be able to get enough money to stand on your own, to not be dependent, if you see yourself as a victim? I think the most obvious example of FU money right now would be Elon Musk buying Twitter. He didn't like the way things were on his favorite time-wasting platform, so then he bought it for an ungodly amount of money to be able to tell them to F off and make it the way he wants it. And they hate him for it. But they really hate him because they can't control him. The oligarchs do everything they can to impede your pursuit of happiness. And understand that this is the gateway to the Qliphoth. Making you a victim is taking you from the tree of life and putting you on the tree of death. I'd like to take a moment, though, to say I have tens of thousands of subscribers, but only a small fraction of those are with us over at Patreon, Subscribestar, or YouTube memberships. Now, we've been at this a while, going on 4 years now, so there's plenty of exclusive content when you join the inner circle. So for those who haven't joined us yet, here's a preview of what you've been missing. Welcome to my temple. This is where the magic happens. Can you imagine doing planetary magic within this space? Okay. Draw another pentagram to the south. Sign of the inner earth. It's just the image I had in my mind of protests. But the reality was more like this.
But on acid.
All in all, a great time, and we hope to do it again if and when they ever decide to come back to the States. Now on the floor is my magic circle created in the style of Poke Runyon. Just understand that this stuff is important and that there are those in the know who often use this information to have power and authority over others.
You really find out how fucking tough you are.
Look at this miniature for Crowley. Let's go back to the sigil. And yes, I actually do have a black towel robe, just like my avatar.
One storm in particular brought 50 to 60 mile an hour winds in a few neighborhoods just over a few blocks, and it caused extensive damage as it hovered over the city.
My bad, sorry. Next need. So how do we get things in the astral to manifest? Biden wins, and then Trump comes back 4 years later in 2024 and then wins.
Basically, I nuked my whole career, got rid of it all.
A white fluorescent marker they kind of use like in restaurants for their boards. That's for drawing sigils on the black mirror. Because this is important.
Oh Lord, what am I doing here?
You can give them a conditional acceptance, and there's not going to be much that they can do about it. We're going to go above our heads here. We're going to stop in the middle. We're going to make another cross with a circle. Well, that's almost what happened. Here's some dragon's blood. We use that quite a bit. Liam Thomas Christopher in a diving suit punching a shark in the face. Oh, you're renting from them. You'll own nothing because they'll own everything. Well, how noble of them. It makes me almost want to do another reading for this reading. You should be taking a ritual bath before your operation. I have 2 going at all times. The strongest time for that angel on the physical level was the week of the ritual. So this first pinnacle of Saturn, as in the description, is for the purpose of getting spirits to obey. There we go. We're raving now.
And it's pronounced Thoth. Please don't say Thoth. That lets people know that you don't know what you're talking about. Thoth.
So that's a small taste of what we have going in the inner circle. You can join us using the membership button on the YouTube page, or head on over to Patreon and Subscribestar. Those links will be in the description, and I look forward to seeing you there. I also want to give a quick shout out to our top supporters at Patreon and Subscribestar: Ahmad Rashid, Andrew Baukamp, Bardan, Gene Metz, Howard Wolf, Yadiva Montalegre, Jeff Montes, Joseph Gurman, Justin Sanders, Liam Niedrich Jr., Madison, Matthew Della Garza, Nexus Voss, Nick Giacara, Renee Benson Yee, Starseed Brian, Justin Mai, Kevin Johnson, and a few others who do not wish to be named. Thank you so much for your support and patronage. You are such a big help to this channel and my work here. Thank you. All right, so the Qliphoth. What is the Qliphoth? Well, quite simply, it's the Kabbalistic tree of life inverted. You can think of it much like the inverted pentagram has a completely different meaning than a regular pentagram. And because it's the tree of life that's inverted, it's no longer the tree of life now, it's the tree of death. That's what the Qliphoth is, in its most simplistic description. And everything that mainstream media and those in the know are doing is trying to get people off of the tree of life and onto the Qliphoth. Whether by accident or by purpose, I tend to believe it's on purpose. There's just too much of a coordinated effort to do so for it to be accidental. See, in the Qliphoth, everything is inverted. So good becomes evil, evil becomes good, up is down, victims are the greatest, etc., etc. And they get you on the tree of death, the Qliphoth, by getting you to adopt viewpoints that correspond with the Qliphoth, such as the view that the bigger victim that you are, the more status and prestige and clout that you have. This is truly a religion of victimhood. They have literally incentivized being a victim. Why wouldn't you want to be marginalized and oppressed and be a victim if you're going to get all the prestige and clout with it? See, on the tree of life, it's survival of the fittest. The best rise to the top. But on the Qliphoth, it's survival of the weakest. So only the weakest rise to the top. That's why you're getting things like this.
Brazilian deaf mute trans woman sings Whitney Houston. I will always love you.
This is a manifestation of the Qliphoth in our physical world. Right, first of all, this person is deaf, mute, and trans. That is a lot of victimhood in one person. And on the Qliphoth side of things, being a victim is a good thing. Good is bad, bad is good. And this comes before the fact that this person cannot sing, let alone that particular Whitney Houston song. I mean, some of our best singers can't even hit those notes. You know, this all started with the participation trophy kids, that generation that grew up not needing to be good at anything because they all got the same trophy or reward at the end. That's also a subtle introduction to communism, by the way. So you didn't need to be good at anything, and now it's gotten to the point where you don't even need to be able to sing to be on TV singing to people. You don't even have to hear the music because everyone's the same. You understand? There's nothing unique or special about anyone on the Qliphoth. See, we are supposed to draw the light from Kether down into Malkuth through the Tree of Life as magicians. And the Qliphoth magicians, well, they do the same thing, but instead of drawing light, they draw darkness. Instead of trying to make heaven on earth, they're trying to make hell on earth, which is their heaven. I mean, you can see for yourself that they're trying to flip everything on its head right now. So don't fall prey to the victim mentality, the victim mindset. It's the most evil, insidious trap there is. And it is a trap. It's a trap to keep you from succeeding and a way to get you off the tree of life and onto the Qliphoth via mind poison. And that will end my little rant for today. I will get into some more of this later. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and share it if you did. And I will see you soon. Take care.